Tyrian girls assemble because we are about to meet our parents because we're humans and all that, you know. Now, when I first watched the Guild Wars 3 trailer, I didn't feel excitement or even disappointment. The moment I saw it, my brain actually flooded with a bunch of questions, ideas, and concerns like, it kind of looks like Fortnite. Unreal Engine slop. Is Lissa two-headed? But as I had time to think about it and rewatched the trailer about 80 times in total now, I have some interesting theories. Now, the first thing all of us thought when we first watched the trailer was probably like, only 4 races? First of all, only 3 races, because that's clearly 2 humans. However, I do believe that we're getting a secret race, or at least a couple. I definitely think that the trailer was just a little crumb to excite us and showed us almost nothing. But I think from a company's point of view, they would want to excite the players and introduce new history into the game. I actually do see them maybe introducing us to some ancient race, maybe making them playable would be a fun way to spice up the story. So my prediction is that we're 100% getting more races, but we are not getting the races that we think we could. So no Char or no Sylvari. Sorry, lettuce people. It sounds a little crazy, but this just popped in my head. With Melandru being present, it would be fun to maybe introduce the race that predates the Sylvari. Maybe the race that became the Sylvari that we know now. And maybe, okay, be with me. What if Melandru brought a plant race from the mist with her? And then when the gods left Tyria, they just ended up living with her. So technically they're not extinct because playing an extinct race would be kind of sad. The race is not extinct, just moved on. We also saw it look like a hairy Azura. But also some of the art that they posted show Azura as well, but they don't seem to be hairy there. So my prediction is that you can pick what race you want to be, but also what sub-race or variant of the race you belong to. So either you're a hairy underground Azura, or an above ground hairless one. Kind of how there is a Gianthir Coden and a Shiver Peaks Coden. Which is why I think they showed us 2 humans. The guy on the mount is supposed to be the Veil Warden, aka the player, and then there's the Canthan looking human female. Or she could be non-binary, I don't know. I mean, Tyria better stay woke 1,000 years back too, period. Because we also know that the human gods arrived in Cantha first, so this is just like maybe like a little nod to that. And also, speaking of this art, doesn't this kind of look like a dog person? Now, maybe I'm reaching and it's probably just a weird looking Coden, but something about the ears and like the fur coloring just looks like a dog to me. But I don't know. I mean, you never know. Like, get your paws up. I think that's a possibility. And also, it was said, or maybe I completely just made that up, but I swear I've seen it somewhere, but I can't find it right now. But I saw that our mount, the one that we see in the beginning, is actually a spirit that guides us and joins us on the adventure. And I think, just by looking at the mount at the beginning of the trailer and then seeing the little flying creature at the end, that seemed like both of them share the same color scheme. I think they're connected. I do. My prediction is that this spirit or mount will shapeshift. Shape-shifting in Guild Wars 3. It would shape-shift into different mounts depending on what we need. So instead of like having a bunch of separate animals or creatures as mounts, we'll have one entity that transforms into whatever mount is needed in the moment. Now that would be really good. But we also saw them both at the same time, so it kind of makes me question like, how does that work? Or if the mounts are actual creatures, then what if our land mount is the creature that 1,000 years later turns into what we know to be the War Claw now? They do look pretty similar, and I think it would be cute as well. The Veil Warden, aka us. So canonically, if you think about it, we do have an ending. The Commander Outsoul. So we either die and pass on, or maybe new info will be revealed to us at the end of Visions of Eternity. What if the commander is the Veil Warden and the gods like wiped our memory and sent us back to protect Tyria? And also, what if that woman that speaks at the beginning of the trailer?
But for our guild, we who protect this land, one reason stands above all others.
Is Dwayna. I can see that. That would be really cute. Like a little teaser, you know, we heard her voice before. I would love that. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the underwater combat. Everyone's favorite. No, but you know, it could be. Because first of all, I saw a big body of water in the trailer and I better be able to enter it and explore it. I think downgrading from Guild Wars 2 and getting rid of underwater combat would be a mistake. because although it was not like really received well in Guild Wars 2, I think if they tweak it and work on it, especially with Guild Wars 3, you know, being with action combat, maybe it will work better. I definitely want to see it, and I predict we will. Honestly, oh my god, I honestly don't know what this video is all about. I don't know if it's my dead ancestors feeding me info from the future, but honestly, if I'm right, then you might as well make me the 7th god. And if I'm wrong, then I'll just look like a fool, but I'll have this video as proof, just in case, that I figure things out. It's really important to think, not as a player. As a company, what would you do? How would you surprise your player base that feels like they already know the full story, they just don't know how to unfold it? Maybe we just don't have all the info as we thought, or maybe it was just playing wrong. You know, it's kind of like a religion in real life. You know, you've never seen him, but they just tell you to believe. My expectations are high, but most importantly, the character creation better have cute hair.